Boy up, it's D&D in the building. Purdue power, no ceiling. Yeah. Double D back, that's Derek and Dalton. Talking gold blood, Mackie been molten. Black and gold dreams, banners we folding. Paint crew loud, every rim gets swollen. Stats so clean, you think it's a scheme. History books get Purdue screen. From humble to E-Day, legends on replay. We run through Mars like it's just another weekday. Double the energy, talking that legacy. Boiler boys cooking, no recipe. Microphone magic, rivalry static. We breaking it down, keep it cinematic. You want the heat, better tune in fast.
Welcome back to the Double D Podcast. My name is Derek, and as always, this is my co-host, Dalton. Today, we are going to preview the Purdue-Iowa State top 10 matchup in Mackey Arena coming up on Saturday. That is a noon tip on CBS, I do believe. Should be a heck of an environment, heck of a game. If you want to get into the arena, it's going to cost you a pretty penny, maybe a second mortgage. But it should be a heck of an environment and an awesome game, really to get the juices flowing. So, Iowa State's first really big test. I know they played St. John's, but I don't know that St. John's is on the same level as playing Mackey playing at Mackey against Purdue. Still not sure about what's going on with Taman Lipsey, whether he'll be playing or not. But all in all, obviously a game I know I'm looking forward to. I'm sure you are too. What are your initial thoughts, excitement level, so on and so forth?
Initial thoughts: danger. Danger. That is the only thought that I have in my mind. This team is dangerous. They're dangerous. It is in Mackey. I think the environment will be psycho on a Saturday. Psycho Saturday. It'll be similar to the Alabama game that we went to. I mean, the craziest atmosphere I've ever seen for a basketball game. I think our players will feed off of it. I think their players are fairly used to it too. I think over in Iowa, their arena gets pretty raucous as well. So I think it's a matchup for the ages. I think they haven't been battle tested, but I don't know that Purdue really has been super battle tested either. Can I say that?
No. We went into Alabama.
I mean, yeah, that's one.
Texas Tech wasn't much of a test.
That's kind of where my head was at. And Alabama seems like it was ages ago.
It does feel like 2 months ago.
Right. What are you thinking? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, 2 top 10 teams in the AP poll, 1 and 10, and then really what probably matters more, 2 and 4 in KenPom. So, I mean, obviously 2 high-level teams. Purdue, a team that's extremely good offensively. Iowa State, a team that's extremely good defensively. Just very similarly constructed. You know, if Lipsey plays, I'll assume he is. You've got elite point guards, an elite 4-man, and then an exceptional shooter in Momcilovic and Fletcher. So, and then really good role players. So, I mean, they're very similar teams structure-wise. Purdue has a little bit more size at the 5 spot. You know, they have a 6'10 and 6'11 guy, but, you know, Purdue's got Clough, who is the biggest 6'11 I've ever seen, and a 7'4 guy off the bench. So, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. If Lipsey plays, or if he doesn't, their backup, that Torrey guy, freshman, is very good. I mean, he's not Lipsey, but he's still a high-level guard.
Yeah.
Plays good defense, plays tough, plays hard. Lipsey not being out will probably hurt them as much or more defensively than it would offensively. He is an elite defender. Really think he could give trouble to Braden, if that's who they put on Braden to begin with. But yeah, really excited. Going to be an awesome atmosphere. I'm going to miss half of the first half because I'll be at my son's basketball game, but still really, I'll probably be kind of trying to sneak peeks on the bench when I'm sitting down there coaching, but really excited to watch the game. Think it's going to be an electric atmosphere on a Saturday. And there's not only that, there's a ton of other awesome games going on Saturday. So should be a fun day in basketball, following one today that's been literally non-existent in college basketball realm.
Yeah, it's a weird day for this week. after all the big battle games that have been this week. Strange night of only women's.
Yeah,
And
and the men's games, there's not a single team in the top 25 playing, which is kind of
yeah,
crazy, really.
it's odd, but who could have guessed it, I suppose, when scheduling happened? Maybe there's a team that was supposed to be in the top 25 playing tonight. I don't know.
Best team I saw was Utah State, and they weren't playing very well, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. Jumping into Iowa State. Tell me what you know. Everything you know about them. Where can they hurt us? Who's going to guard who? What are the matchups? What matchups are key for Purdue?
Yeah, obviously the head of their snake is, from an offensive standpoint, is Josh Jefferson. He is very similar in a build to Trey Coffin-Wren. Very similar statistically, really. He's not as good of a rebounder, but he's a better passer. He's an exceptional passer at the 4 spot. I mean, he's had multiple games with like 7, 8, 9 assists. I think he had 2 of 10. He is the centerpiece of their offense. Lipsy is kind of the guy that gets the drink stirred, but the alcohol put into the drink that makes it worth drinking is Josh Jefferson. He is an elite offensive basketball player. He's not a great offensive rebounder. I'd say that's one knock on him. He's a good defensive rebounder, but he really doesn't attack the glass on the offensive end very much. He can shoot a little bit, but not, exceptionally well. He's about a 30 to 35% 3-point shooter, but enough kind of to keep you honest. So I'm interested to see if we put TKR or Clough on him. My personal preference would be Clough because I think Clough is longer. He's a little bit better in the post and, again, like with a high hedge. I don't think you want to put Trey on him and risk getting Trey into foul trouble. Just personal opinion. Now, when Daniel is in the game, I would put Trey on him. But as long as Oscar's in, to me, it should be Trey guarding him. So that's obviously, step one is don't let Justin Jefferson, not even from a scoring standpoint, just from a facilitating offensive leader standpoint, get going. If he's spraying it and getting guys wide open threes, Purdue notoriously doubles on bigs. I think we're going to have to be a little careful with that. They have shooters all over the place. They're kind of like Purdue in that way, which will lead me into, the other guy that I'm focused on. I think Lipsy's going to do what Lipsy does, but Momcilovic has been electric from the 3-point line. The guy's shooting 54% from 3 on 8 attempts. Just for comparison, Fletcher's shooting 50% on 8 attempts, which is absolutely nuts, and this guy's 4% higher. Has 4 games where he's made 5 or more threes, including a game where he's made 9, 8, and 7. He could just get it going, and he's been that way. He was that way last year. He's that way this year. He is a true bucket getter from the 3-point line. He doesn't do a whole lot else as far as offense is concerned. He's not a plus defender. He's okay. He's a big guy. He's 6'8", 6'9". But just an elite shooter. And when you watch him shoot, you'll see that. So it's one of those things where if he's hot early, you got to completely adjust your defense because he can go hit 6 to 9 threes quickly. What are your thoughts on, those are kind of their 3 big guys. And we can hit on a couple of the smaller guys too, and we can get some more team stuff. I don't want to talk for 15 straight minutes. What are your thoughts on those 3 guys? And, how do you think, to me, those 3 are very similar to the Braden, TKR, and Fletch.
Yeah, they're very similar to those 3. Momcilovic, I think, is going to be a matchup nightmare for us. I think it'll be either CJ or Jakari probably have to match up with him. I would be very surprised to see Fletcher on him.
It sounds crazy, but I think Braden might be on him.
Braden on him? I mean,
you're right. I think Fletcher is just not good enough at defending threes.
Yeah. He'll put a hand in your face, but most guys make them.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I think Fletcher's the natural pick, right? Because similar play style, the guy's not going to drive a lot, but like you just can't let him get open.
He
so I don't
can
know.
Get to the rim. I've seen him get to the rim.
He can do it. It's not something that that you're worried about. Like if that happens, it happens. You'll live with that. So
Yeah,
that matchup will be interesting to see because I think Lipsy, if Lipsy plays, you've got to put CJ on him.
CJ on
So,
him. Yeah.
because he's more of a creator, a
Yeah.
driver. He can do a little bit of all of it. So it'll be
Well,
interesting to see how that works.
I've actually watched Iowa State a couple times. I think, I saw a stat that they beat teams 352 to like 158 when Lipsy sits out in 3 games. So I don't know if he'll play. I can't find anything on the internet about it. Maybe it's a game time decision or like surprise he's playing, type of deal where like they act like Purdue's not already scouting him. That Toure kid that you talked about, he is good, but he makes dumb mistakes.
He's a
He is
freshman.
a freshman, like a freshman's. Umsilovich is a matchup nightmare for us. Jefferson can shoot. I mean, he shoots 37% from 3 as a big guy. It's not terrible. It's almost 40%. I mean, that's
Low
pretty
volume, though. He
good.
doesn't shoot a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is probably one of our best matchups. I think this matchup will be what Texas Tech was supposed to be. I think it'll be a barn burner. But it is in Mackey, and we have seen Purdue just annihilate teams like this in Mackey. Alabama, Michigan come to mind, where it was supposed to be very competitive, and Purdue runs them by 15 points. So whatever Purdue team shows up will decide this game. If our bench is firing, I don't know. I kind of got off subject, but I'm not a huge fan of this matchup. I always get really nervous for our guys playing, crazy good teams like this. They're a little bit of a faster team than us. Their adjusted tempo is one of the 104th in the country. You would think is like middle of the field, but then their average possession length, they're 40. They're 40th in that.
Yeah, well, it's like 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, they get up and down, but they played a lot of doo-doo teams as well as I like to put it.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Their strength of schedule is like 245th, and that's with St. John's in there.
Right.
So the rest of, like, Syracuse was another team they played bad. Mississippi State bad. So those were the big teams they've played, and they're not, I mean, they just aren't very good metrically. They're not very good. I think one thing that you kind of brought up is their tempo, and I think that that can be a confusing, misleading number on KenPom. Their tempo, it looks so fast because they force a ton of turnovers, and they get a ton of wide open fast break pick 6 layups. They are number 1 nationally in turnover percentage. 27% of possessions result in a turnover when you play this team. And that being said, on the other end, they only turn the ball over, I believe, 13% on offense. So what a combination. A team who doesn't turn it over and creates a ton of turnovers. So that is, to me, if we're just like, what is the biggest key to the game for Purdue? It's not stopping anybody. It's not hitting threes. It's none of that. It is, do not turn the ball over.
Right.
If you keep turnovers under 10, like St. John's, the game that the Iowa State almost lost, St. John's didn't turn the ball over. They ended up winning that game by 1, Iowa State did, but they really didn't cause St. John's a ton of problems. St. John's just didn't make shots, and if you get through a game against them and you don't turn it over, you're going to probably win because they're not like elite at rebounding. They're fine, but they're a committee rebounding team. They don't get a ton of offensive rebounds. It's just a turnover. I mean, they are hard-nosed defense. They pressure you. I'm hoping that, having Braden, having a year 2 CJ, having Omer, having even the senior Fletch really gets us to a point where we beat down that door and we don't get the turnovers, and we get a lot of easy baskets because they're trying to get steals and they're overplaying a little bit.
Right.
I don't want people to think that this is going to be a game that's running up and down because that's not what they do. What they really do is steal the ball. They caused that game. They just scored 140, 132. They forced like 28 turnovers. I mean, you're going to score a lot of points if you get 28 free possessions.
mind you, 1-9 Alcorn State.
Yeah, terrible team.
Also, St. John's may end up being a quad 2. They are very lucky that they're in the Big East. I'll say that going into conference play, it could easily be a quad 2 in Mississippi State. I mean, they're 77th in KenPom.
Yeah, not
So
good teams.
not great, not a great schedule, but KenPom has it listed at a 32% loss, 79-74 for Iowa State. And I don't know the metrics on how accurate that is, but they don't have they don't have another loss until BYU on KenPom, and that's in February. So
Yeah, I mean, the sports books have Purdue by 5.5 too. ESPN has Purdue as a 60%. I think that's going to be a lot of that has to do with being at Mackey.
yeah,
You said you didn't like this matchup. Personally, I love this matchup. I think this is a perfect matchup for Purdue. Not a huge team, not an overly efficient 2-point team, or not. I'm not saying they're not efficient. They're a team that is efficient from 2, but they're not going to wear you down on the inside. And they don't really, even though they made a lot in the last game, they don't typically shoot a lot of threes. It's not something that like their offenses revolves around. They have a 43% shooting percentage, which is obviously very good.
third in the country.
Third in the country, but their volume is 245th.
Right.
So they're not shooting a ton, but they are efficient when they do. And when they have a game like that Alcorn State game where they get to shoot a bunch of wide open threes, yeah, they're going to destroy you. But Purdue's not going to let that happen.
Yeah, and they do hold teams, they hold teams to probably not their season average just because of what you said, playing the passing lanes and getting out and getting fast buckets. I think we control the pace, we control the ball, we run our sets. Just like every game with Purdue, you run PJ sets, people will be open. Their bench plays 32 minutes per game, 0.1. And obviously with blowout wins, that's going to inflate that a little bit. But I wouldn't say that's super deep. That's 207th in the country as far as bench minutes. So
they have like one guy on their bench who plays a lot. It's the backup 5. But other than that, I mean, this Blake Buchanan guy that plays, he's terrible free throw shooter, doesn't really provide a whole lot. Just a big body that they throw out there. They have another guy, Jamarion Bateman, who's a freshman, very good shooter, shooting 45% on decent volume from 3. Can kind of one of those CJ Cox types that you just don't want to see him get one to go in early because it can steamroll pretty quickly. So I think the big thing with them is they have like 3 guys that from 3 at least that you really can't let get going. And, that Momcilovic, Bateman, and Torre, if any of those 3 guys really start knocking them down, you could be in some trouble. Lipsy obviously as well, but he can do a little bit of everything. So if he's playing, it's more than just that with him. You kind of gotta let, he's kind of like Braden. He's going to get his, whatever it is. So
yeah,
it's a team. They run a ton of pick and roll too. I mean, they're very much like Purdue. It's a lot of Lipsy with Jefferson in the pick and roll, pocket pass it to Jefferson and then he distributes.
So we should know how to guard it fairly well.
You would think so. I mean, you'd think our backups would be great at defending it.
Will this be a defensive battle, do you think?
I think if the ball is protected by Purdue, if we don't turn it over a crap load, then yes, I do believe it becomes a little bit of a, but both teams are also extremely efficient on offense. So it'll be an interesting game. I think it's a game that one team is probably going to hit shots and one team is probably not. And the team that hits shots is going to win the game. Because they're very equal in a lot of metrics and a lot of just personnel related situations. Obviously, Otzelberger's a great coach. Painter's a great coach. They're both hard nosed. They're going to fight. They've got some leadership. That they're built a lot like Purdue. They have almost the same average age in college as Purdue does. So very,
4 years.
yeah, very similar in all of those kind of under the radar metrics. If you really go look at those metrics sometimes, like the average age and average height, if you look at them in matchups, the team that's older and taller typically wins. It's shocker, but
There
you
isn't
know,
one.
they're very close in a lot of ways to Purdue. I think that's why I'm not so worried about this game is we're at home. And I think that Purdue just has a slight advantage I think TKR is better than Jefferson. I think Braden's better than Lipsy. Momcilovic is probably a little bit better than Fletcher, but I just think we're a little bit better in almost every position. And I think that results in, to me, a decent win.
Yeah, this Buchanan kid, he does lead them in offensive boards by 8. So got to make sure we're peeling him, finding a body on him. It seems like, according to box scores, he likes to get offensive rebounds. Torre leads their team in steals with 18. And Jefferson leads them in assists with 45 on the year. And that is not even a close statistic. So,
yeah, I mean, Jefferson, that's 45 assists for a big guy.
yeah, that's
in
what
8
I'm
games.
saying. That'd be Trey having 45 assists.
Yeah, if Trey was averaging 6 assists a game like he is right now, or almost 6, Trey would be in the National Player of the Year conversation, because he'd be averaging, 16, 11, and 6,
Yeah,
one crazy
Momcilovic
stat. You
go
mentioned
ahead.
those steals. This is just, I wasn't even looking for this stat, and I just saw it. So of guys on their team who have played 100 minutes, which in 8 games, so they played 12 minutes a game or so. I think there's 8 or 9 of them. All but one of them have more steals than they have turnovers, which is crazy. Okay. The one that doesn't has 7 turnovers and 6 steals. So
Yeah.
he's like, it is crazy
Icy.
to see a team that has every player that has more steals. Like, they don't turn it over and they steal the ball a ton. Now,
Hold on. That's incorrect. There's 2.
who's the other one?
Heisey and Plata. So Plata has 11 turnovers and 4 steals.
But look
So
at his
that-
minutes. I said that played over 100 minutes.
Let's see. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
facts.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I saw that, and I was like,
hand up.
he doesn't play hardly at all. So
I'm wrong.
he must have had 11 turnovers, and they must have been in. That must be why he doesn't play. But yeah, so that was a crazy statistic to me, and I think that that's just a testament to who that team is and what Purdue has to do to win this game, and that's protect the ball at all costs. And if you can force a few out of them, now I think that this goes hand in hand with that. They also are a team that fouls a lot. I was looking through their box scores, and almost every game they have guys in foul trouble. That has there's 2 reasons for that. One, they're not super deep. They play their main guys a lot of minutes. And 2, they're aggressive defensively. And I think that's guys like Buchanan, they bring in, they're like, just go foul and get offensive rebounds. That's all you got to do. And that's what he goes in and does. He's a terrible free throw shooter. He shoots 40-something%. He's not going to bring you much else. He doesn't shoot threes. He's in there to be a bully. He's a big boy. He's 6'10", 240.
Yeah,
he's from
meet our
Coeur
bully.
d'Alene, Idaho.
Hey, meet our bully. He's from the land down under.
Yeah, our boy has a little bit more about him, though.
You don't want to see him, dude.
This guy's straight up like a Bash brother. Like, he just coming in to bang head.
Fine. We have that guy too, and he plays a lot more than you.
I'll be shocked if Blake Buchanan and Trey don't almost get in a fight at some point during this game.
Clough is so level-headed, man.
Yeah.
He'll hammer somebody and then walk down the court like he did nothing. Like,
he's like, "Oh, you want to get lunch after this, mate?"
Yeah.
They're like, "What?"
His mom liked my mixer video today. That was pretty cool. I was like, yeah, probably because Oscar used to freaking pour off those trucks. So
yeah, that's awesome. I think Oscar. This is a game I think Oscar could have a really good game in. If we're going to move a little bit toward Purdue here, I do believe with his size, his ability to create problems on the defensive end. Like, he's so good defensively. That's why I want to see him on Jefferson. I
Yeah.
think it could be a big game for Clough.
And they tried to get him out of the portal.
But yeah, I forgot. This is
Pretty
the
sure that they
thought
were
they had
the
it.
next in line. Yeah, right after Painter said, "Nope, I want him." And
Yeah,
then
well, he came to Purdue and committed like 2 days later,
yeah,
and he was like set to go visit Iowa State. And
yeah,
yeah, I forgot all about that. It's kind of an under storyline there that you got a couple of those with that, and then Tyrese Halliburton's allegedly going to be there. He's an ISU guy, but also everybody really likes him. That's a Pacers fan, so could be interesting. But yeah, you're right. Clough probably was pretty close. Had he not visited Purdue, he would be at Iowa State.
yeah, for
Like, I think
sure.
that's just
I
a
mean,
fact.
that's where I would have went if I was him. And I didn't go to Purdue. I mean,
Yeah, he could have hung out with Blake Buchanan from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
I mean, country boys.
They also got a guy from Waukee, Iowa, Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I mean, this team is full Okaloosa.
yeah, a guy named Monsilovich who's from Wisconsin. That's pretty sus to me, dude.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone named Monsilovich that's from Wisconsin.
Dude, he's from Pewaukee. It's like somebody was like, what should we name our town? Well, they already took Milwaukee.
Well, we got Monsilovich here, so
yeah, let's call it Pewaukee.
Wow.
Well, then then the most random player on their team is Dominic from Miami, Florida.
Sweet.
Just like, what? What are you doing here, buddy?
I didn't hear you say Iowa one time.
No, they have some guys from Iowa. Waukee, Iowa. Oskaloosa, Iowa. Eric Mulder.
Wow.
However, none of these guys from Iowa play, so maybe that's a curse for them. I'm not sure.
Probably like Lusk.
Yeah.
Probably they're Lusk.
Yeah, they're probably walk-ons, I'm guessing.
What are your 3 keys to the win? Let's get into it. Let's wrap this up, man.
So I always have 3 offensive and 3 defensive. So offensively, it's just in line with take care of the ball. It's value possessions. This is a team that steals possessions from you. So value possessions, attack the pressure. That's one thing that Purdue makes me so mad. Teams press us, we break the press, and we stop. If you're being pressured way out at half court and you beat it, you got to attack it. You got to make them pay, or else what are you doing? So attack their pressure and value the possession. Establish dominance inside early. Because the second we go into Clough and TKR, we put guys on their team, who they need badly, like Jefferson and their bigs. We put them in a bad spot defensively and positioned to get in foul trouble. And if you get those guys in foul trouble, you really have a big opportunity to beat this team. I mean, it's just as simple as that. They aren't extremely deep at the big spot. They have this Pieta guy who's a freshman. Mulder, who's not a very good player just in general. I don't think he hardly plays at all. But then they have Jefferson and Buchanan. That's it. I mean, they're very shallow. So if you get one of those guys in foul trouble, they're going to be hurting in a lot. And then obviously limit live ball turnovers. If you're going to turn it over, don't let it be a live ball pick 6. They get a bucket, momentum. Those are my offensive. And then defensively, deny the clean catch. So you can't just let Jefferson and Lipsy or whoever their guard is, Torre, drive and kick and get wide open threes. You can't have clean catches. You got to be on the ball. The old bluff and go, or bluff and stay. So you bluff at the ball like you're going to help, but then you got to get your ass back to your guy. You can't leave these dudes wide open. Obviously cover the pick and roll well. That'll be interesting to see if we play drop or we play high hedge. Interested to see how we defend the pick and roll. Obviously, we're very familiar with what it looks like. So,
will that depend on if Lipsy plays? Do you think?
I think a lot.
Defend that.
I do. Lipsy's obviously a better overall player and way more poised than Torre. Torre's a freshman, so he's more liable to make mistakes. So I think if Torre is in the game, he's not a great shooter. He's fine, but he's not great. If he's playing point, I think we play drop. If Lipsy's playing point, we probably will have to hedge a little bit. So that'll be interesting. And then last thing from a defensive standpoint is rebound the hell out of the basketball. And that's probably going to be as much on the guards as it is on the bigs. This is a weird game where Iowa State's big guy, or their Jefferson, their leading rebounder, doesn't offensive rebound. But their guards, their wings, those guys will get some. So it's going to be up to our guards to make sure that those balls don't fall in the wrong direction. So those would be my 3 offense, 3 defense. What about you?
I just have 3
That's
overall.
fine.
It's just feed the post, get our post guys touches. Good things have always happened for Purdue when our post guys touch the ball. I know we run all those double screens up high and get people open. Like, yeah, I love that for Fletcher, Cox, or shooters. But I feel like we've gone away from post touches a lot. Like, it's a lot of
Traditional.
high pick and roll with the pocket passes, and they have quick hands. So I feel like traditional post ups would be really effective in this game. And like you talked about, getting them in foul trouble. They don't have a lot of size on their bench or backups. So, I mean, you get 2 on Jefferson, you neutralize him first half, take him out of his game. I would say the second would be right along the lines with yours. You got to keep, if we get over 10 turnovers, we lose. Take care of the ball.
Especially if they're like early turnovers. Like you could get in a hole quick.
Right. I mean, we came out against Eastern Illinois in Mackey just playing slop ball. Like,
Can't have it.
well, I mean, we got 4 seniors on the floor starting games. It's just, you can't come out and have 4 to 5 turnovers. That's a momentum swing, and then you got to battle back the entire game. You can't play with any form of comfortability. It's fight the whole game the rest of the way, because this isn't Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
This is a team, you get down, you're in danger. Like, so don't want to have to battle back the whole game. And I would say my third key would be hit the offensive glass. Get extra possessions. Because we've, last, I think, 3 games, we've led. Obviously, I mean, they were all pretty easy games, our last 3, but it's like we hit the offensive glass, we got extra possessions, got extra buckets. That goes a long way as far as, just extra shots for a shooting team like us that can make a huge difference. And you usually get like a kick out 3 or somebody's wide open in the corner. So offensive glass is important to me. Those would be my big 3.
Yeah, I mean the last one, the offensive glass is really big too. Not only because obviously it's always good, but when you're playing a team that steals possessions from us from just a turnover and stealing the ball standpoint, you have to find your own way to steal possessions from them, because Purdue's we're not that team. We're not built to force turnovers. We're never going to be that. I've never seen a Purdue team that did that. Not for 10, 15 years at least. So we're going to have to find another way to get possessions. The only way you can do that is to eliminate your turnovers and steal offensive rebounds. And I think you're right. We could definitely get some in this game. We're a little bit bigger than them at the 5 spot, 4 spot. And I think just more aggressive attacking. And we have to be aggressive in this game. So
yeah,
couldn't agree with you more.
Clough sealing off makes a huge difference, allows TKR. We've seen him get those bunnies, pick up bunnies. Like, Clough puts a body on you, you're not getting around that. So, who are your key players to this game for us?
So I kind of mentioned it really early on in the show. I think it's a big game for Clough. It feels like it's going to be. I don't know if that necessarily means scoring or rebounding or both. Could be both. Could be passing. I just think it's a game set up for him. Their 5 is not as good as him, and he can be a pest defensively against Jefferson. And if he's not guarding Jefferson, he's going to have, kind of the whole court to work with as far as helping, rotating, doing all the little things there. So he's definitely one. Braden, obviously, in a game against a team that forces a shitload of turnovers, protecting the ball is paramount. I expect Braden to play 38 minutes in this game, and he has to protect the ball. that does apply to the other guards as well, but it's mostly on Braden, unfortunately. And he's in year 4. You're Braden Smith, dude. You got your own podcast now, bro. Like, protect the basketball in a game like this. I know those are kind of cop-out answers. If I had to go for one that kind of was a under the radar, maybe kind of guy, I would say Daniel Jacobson. With his size, I mean, the biggest guy they have is 6'11", and he doesn't play. So the 6'10" guy on their team, Jacobson's going to have 6 inches plus his arms. So the lob should be there. Well, 6 inches, like arm, like, what I mean. But the lob should be there, and he should be able to block some shots coming over to help. So I just think it could be a dominant game from our 2 bigs. And obviously Braden's got to take care of the ball. And if he scores, great. But I don't even really care about that in this game. Like, if Braden scores 6 points and has 10 assists and 2 turnovers, I'll be like, all right, we probably won. Now, if he has 24 points, 8 assists, and 6 turnovers, I think we lose. Even though that sounds like a better overall thing. Like, the turnovers are everything in this game. So who do you think the impact guys will be for Purdue?
I think impactfully, TK needs to have a day, like, not one of his quiet days, like, not his quiet 14 and 11. I'm talking 26, 28.
I haven't seen that yet.
Just attacking. Who can stop him? You're putting a guy on him his size.
Well, who can't get in foul trouble?
Yeah, I mean, you're putting Jefferson on him, and TK.
I think that they might put Jefferson on Clough to protect him.
Good, because
then TK's gonna eat whoever Blake Buchanan
TK needs
is.
to eat no matter who's on him. It was just like Toppin. He neutralized him. I mean, what could he do? He can't foul. TK needs to go at their best player. My sleeper pick is a CJ game. He's been kind of quiet. The last game wasn't so great for him. They don't scout for him a lot. You think PJ doesn't know that? You don't think he has 42 sets drawn up for CJ Cox coming off screens or sitting in the corner while you sleep? They're there. I just wonder, honestly, if Iowa State tries to play drop on us.
I think for the most part they do play drop, but they also randomly will, like, against
It's a zone,
St.
right?
John's. They don't normally, but against St. John's they threw in, or maybe it was Syracuse, a 1-3-1 zone, which you don't want to run against Purdue because that leaves corner threes open all day long, and you don't want to do that. I like your CJ call though, because I think CJ may, if Lipsy plays, will guard Lipsy, and his defense could be just an annoyance to Lipsy all night long. And Lipsy is such a good player that you got to have somebody bothering him, and that's why I think you have to have CJ on him or Jakari, whoever, because you can't just throw a guy who's like a Braden because Braden's okay defensively, but he overplays everything, and you can't do that.
He's always trying to get a steal or do a little pokey poke from, like, not with a guy like him or Jefferson. Kind of got to play Braden on somebody that he can take a couple risks on, and that may not sink a bucket right in your face. That's why I don't like him on Momcilovic, because that guy's a bucket. Braden goes for one of his little crazy steals. You leave him open, you're done. Dagger.
I got a feeling they're going to put Fletcher on him, not necessarily because Fletcher's good at defense, but Fletcher's smart. And I think if they go, listen, your only job, don't let this guy get open threes.
Right.
I think that he can do that. So what's your, I always ask you this, what's your, if Iowa State does this, they're going to win the game?
Force over 10 turnovers. As I said earlier, I don't think, unless we're hitting, if we're hitting, we can survive a 10 turnover game against an opponent like this. But if we're having one of our not so great shooting nights, we might lose by 10.
Yeah, I think you're pretty right. I think a big one for me in this game is what's the score after the first 10 minutes? Like, after my son's game ends, what's the score? Is Purdue up 5 or are they down 5? And that can tell me pretty much how the whole game's going to go. So what does Purdue have to do to have a pretty, handy victory in this game.
Hit shots. I'm not going to go for the easy one and protect the ball or whatever, limit turnovers. We've already talked about that. We got to shoot. Like, that's how we blew Texas Tech out. The shooters were shooting that night. If we're shooting, we can give up 10 turnovers. I'm telling you. Like, we can survive that. It might be closer than anybody wants, but we got to hit threes. Like, I don't know. I think the post touches, like when Edie used to get post touches, it made outside shots so much easier for everybody else. And I think we've gone away from that so much with the high pick and roll.
Yeah, I was actually going to piggyback what you said earlier, like establish inside dominance early so that you can dominate from the perimeter later.
Right.
And you're right, with Edie, yeah, he'd score freaking 30 and he'd have 30 and 15 every game, but he's also the guy that allows other guys to get open because so much happens to collapse on him. And Iowa State is a team generally who doubles, kind of like Purdue. They're very similar. We'll double the post almost every time. And if your big guys, Trey and Oscar, who are capable passers, can find the open guy, it should be wide open shot after wide open shot for a lot of our role players, the Benters, the Cox, the CJ, the Jakari, the Fletcher, like all these guys that are just shooters. Liam Murphy. This could be a big Liam Murphy game because I think even Benter or Liam Murphy at the 3 to put on Momcilovic, I don't think is a bad idea. I know we won't start that way, but I think it could. I think if one of those guys comes in and they're playing well and they're playing defense well against him, it could be a good option.
Yeah, Benter and Murphy, both a little bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And stick on that guy pretty well. I think Murphy plays great defense, so I think Benter
He's just a smart
too.
player.
Yeah.
They're both just always in the right spot.
Yep.
They're intelligent, cerebral.
That's my key.
Who's your player of the game for Purdue?
I'll stick with TK.
TK.
I need over 20, dude. I don't need you to black hole. We don't need a black hole like last year. We need you, like, I would say over 20 with 4 to 5 assists. What about you?
And I'm glad we're doing this. I'm gonna go Braden. This is a big time game. We got big time players. Let's show up. Braden showed up in the Alabama game. Trey dominated, Toppin. We dominated Toppin. We dominated Alabama with our big 2. Those 2 guys, I think, are going to show up, man. I want to see a Braden. I don't care. Like I said, I want to see 10 plus assists and 3 or less turnovers, and I want to see aggressive Braden going to the rack, driving, kicking, shooting open threes when he gets them. He had a good shooting night last game. He should be able to build off that and kind of take over this game. It's one of those, especially if Lipsy isn't playing and he's going up against a young freshman guard. Like, you got to go out there and show why you're the preseason national player of the year, why you're the Big Ten preseason player of the year, and you're at home in front of your crowd. It's going to be a wild environment. So go be Braden. And I think that if he does that, we win the game. I think if Trey shows up, like you said, we win the game. So as much as we talk about all the role players and all of the other BS, we've got 2 All-American candidates. So let's see him show up in the biggest moment of the year so far.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat on that said Braden, TK, and Fletch are 7-1 in top 10 matchups.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they are 7-1. Who is that loss? Test your memory here.
It wasn't Michigan last year, was it?
That was not at home. We blew them out.
Oh, this is at home?
Yeah, in Mackey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who did we lose to?
Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm mixing up stats. Maybe I'm an idiot. It could possibly be. It very possibly could be I'm an idiot. So
who is it? Do you know who it is?
Don't know. I was just seeing if you knew.
No, I don't. I would say I didn't know if Michigan was top 10 when we played them last year or not. I know
I
the
can't.
last year was the only year we lost anything in the preseason.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't imagine. It's got to be a Big Ten team, right?
You would think.
No,
Maybe
it
like,
was probably Auburn last year.
yeah, that probably would have been it. And it was a neutral game, not at home.
Yeah,
No, was it? Where was it? That wasn't at Gamebridge. It was at Auburn or down
that
in
was
that
at.
area.
It was like us at Gamebridge. It was like a semi-neutral, but really a home game for Auburn.
Not a neutral, like Illinois at United Center losing.
Yeah, very similar to that. Yeah. Last thing, and then we'll get to like our final thoughts. Who is or what is your score prediction? Palm has this as a 5-point game. The books have it as 5.5-point game. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go 81-76. I'm going right on it. If we put up 81, I mean, I don't know what the magic number for Purdue this year is, but
Well, we haven't
I think
scored less than 80.
yeah, I think 80 is about it.
80 must be the number.
Yeah. What
I'm
you
gonna
got?
go a little bold. I think Purdue handles this game. I think that I just love this matchup for Purdue. I think that they are Purdue, but not as good, and Purdue's at home. So I'm gonna go Purdue wins this game 86-72.
14-pointer.
I think Purdue handles it. I think it's probably about a 6 to 8 point game at half. We pull it. We probably get it close to 20 at some point. And then it kind of just hovers around 15 for most of the last part of the second half.
You calling a -13 on DK Sportsbook?
Dude, I may alt line bet it. We'll see.
That's
we
a
may
dangerous
do it.
bet, bro.
That's a terrible bet, and I won't do it. If I was doing that, I would just bet the spread and put more money
You
on
can
it.
just give me your money.
But no, I really do. I think Purdue has a good chance to win this game. Not like blowout style, but kind of almost the level of Rutgers minus a few buckets. Because I don't think Purdue played that well against Rutgers.
We didn't, but
I think Purdue shoots well in this game, and I think that Painter's whole game plan is going to be to shut down somebody that nobody thinks he's going to, like Momcilovic or somebody. And we're going to force them into trying to get the ball inside, and that's all that we want them to do. Please bring it into Clough and Jacobson.
Yeah. Get in it. Yeah, I mean, let the big defenders go.
Yeah, what are your final thoughts? Anything you're thinking? Your nerve level. I know you get really nervous for some of these big time games. So do I, obviously. But what's your thoughts, and what is your oh shit in the first 5 minutes of this game?
My aw shit is they come out like Rutgers and hit
boom
3-4 threes in a row, dude. I will be at your son's game as well. I will have it on my phone. I will be multitasking because I don't know, man. That's my oh shit. We're down 18-7 or something ridiculous. Sorry. Apologies.
Hey, you didn't. All you said was riff, dude.
Ridiculous.
You're just riffing, dude.
Yeah, I'm riffing over here. But yeah, that would be mine. It would be my final thoughts are, I hate these games, but I love them. I really hate them because I'm a high anxiety, high strung person. I love this team. I want to see our seniors go undefeated and Mackey this year, and I don't want anybody to F that up for them. These guys have put so much time and work into this program, the culture, bringing guys in, helping out. I want to see them succeed in Mackey their last season. Anything else would be a heartbreak for me. Go get a big win, boys. Any of you guys watch our podcast, go get it. Just show the world. People are still doubting you. It's ridiculous that they're doubting you still as a number one team after 2 quad 1 wins, so yeah, go out and win it. That's what I got. What's your oh shit?
First, I'll say it's funny you said something about doubting him because they just took the ESPN Power Rankings, moved Michigan from 13 to 1 as Purdue continues to not lose games and look good against everyone. So that's the disrespect that Purdue gets. My oh shit moment in this game will be 4 minutes into the game and Trey has 2 fouls. It hasn't happened yet. And I know Trey. Not personally, but I've seen him play enough games. I feel like I know him personally. It's got to happen at some point. And it will happen in a game like this when Iowa State is one of the teams that in the entire country draws the least, like one of the least amount of fouls. And Purdue is one of the lowest foul rate teams in the country. So of course, in this game, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen not to Braden, who can deal with it. It's going to happen to the one guy who's going to have to come off the floor, and that's Trey. So that would be my oh shit moment. God forbid it happens. And my final thoughts really similar to yours. I just want to throw this out there because I want to say it one more time. Coming off of IU getting smoked by Minnesota, I don't want to see Purdue immediately go lose 2, because then, all the fun shit talking we got to do to IU fans is just put right to bed, even though it's against a way better team. And I don't want to see Purdue lose at home all year either. I don't want to see Purdue lose at all. I really, truly think we can go into the Michigan game undefeated if we win this game. We got Marquette. They're not good. Minnesota's coming up, not good. We've got Auburn, who I don't think is great, but it's also an Indy, so it's a pseudo home game. And then from there, we don't really have a lot of big-time games. The only game that scares me is at Ohio State, just because of the trappiness of that game.
Diebler.
And Diebler loves to screw Purdue's life up. But I there's a real chance we go into Michigan undefeated or with 1 loss. And I want to see that for these guys. Yeah. I want these seniors, and not even just the 3 seniors. I want Clough, and I want I'm blanking on his name right now.
Oh, Murphy.
Yes, sorry. I want Clough and I want Murphy to get to come into this program and experience something that they probably, even as good as they knew Purdue was going to be, they didn't even think they'd experience. A team being undefeated, 20-0, whatever it is, going into February, or even 19-1, just exceptional. And I want to see our defense continue to improve. So they have this as a 79-74 on KenPom. I want to see Iowa State be held less than 74 points. I want to keep beating that defensive number on KenPom and keep getting better and better at defense, because I think this team has it in them, and we should be continuing to get better. Jacobson, Clough, Meyer, these guys still are learning this program and this system, and they should only continue to get better. So go in the game. If it's my one hope in this game is kind of put it to bed a little early. You said you look up and they're up 20-8. I hope we look up and we're up 20. I want to Michigan them from last year. I want to come out and it's 25-10, and it's like, holy shit, this game's already over. I want to get done with my son's game and just look at you, and you got a little twinkle in your eye. And it's not because my son scored a bunch of points. It's because it's because it's a 25-10 game. And you're like, man, there's these Spaces is going to be great. And definitely come check us out on Spaces. We're going to try to hop on after my son's game, probably be in our own cars. But yeah, really excited for it, and really excited to have a good weekend. We got 2 Christmases on Sunday. We're going to your son's birthday Saturday, plus my son's game. So it should just be a fun overall weekend. We're getting closer to Christmas. So, really excited to see this game, and then get a little bit of a reprieve for a week after with Minnesota and Marquette coming up. It'll feel like a break from many of these high-level games. So, yeah, really excited for it. And, we appreciate everybody. Make sure if you've hung out for an hour with us this long, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and, leave a comment. This isn't live, so leave us a comment. It really does help the algorithm, helps people find us, and, it's good for us overall. So, we do really appreciate everybody who watches.
Yes, sir. Boiler up.
Peace
Let's
out.
go. Later.